Okay, so today I decided to do something a little bit different, which is just to sit down and take a look at my 10 favorite hilts in my collection, which if you're new here, my collection is pretty large. I have, well, I think over 100 hilts now, which is crazy. And I have a lot of different hilts in this collection, a lot of different ones. And it's really hard to sit down and narrow out just 10 of them. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna go through these in order. And I really hope that everybody agrees with my list to some extent, because if you've watched my content before, you'll know how I've spoken about certain hilts in particular. So a couple of these might catch you by surprise, maybe not, but we'll see. But I'm really excited to get into this because I have wanted to make a video like this for a long time. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the first one, shall we? At the number 1 spot, I'm putting Calstus up there, man. I have to. It's my favorite hilt, so I have to give it to Jaro Tapal or Calstus. This hilt really inspired me to start collecting in the first place after playing the game. I have multiple versions of this hilt, and I want to show them all off. Here we go. This is a big boy coming in. Do I even have room on the camera still? And I've got one more here. The mini Calstus. Look at that. But yeah, I've got the Fallen V4 here from the Survivor game. Fallen V2 from Jedi Fallen Order. The clean version of the V4. These are the same ones, literally the exact same model. And I've got the Crossguard version from Survivor as well. This is my favorite hilt of all time at the number 1 spot. So let's go ahead and move on to the second one. If you guys want to know where any of these are from, just drop them down below and I'll reply and I'll answer. All right, at the number 2 spot, I'm picking Luke's, which was my favorite saber growing up as a child. Believe it or not, I was actually an Originals fan growing up, and Luke was by far my favorite. This was the hilt that I admired most, and it still remains one of my favorites, the second favorite in fact. And I've got 3 different versions of it here today. So up here on the top, I've got the Last Jedi variant. Here in the middle, which is my personal favorite, is the one from Return of the Jedi. And down here is the Book of Boba Fett or Mando version. This one also has the Crystal Chamber reveal, which is super sick. I absolutely love this hilt. It is so beautiful. It feels great in the hands. And I love thin necks. They're some of my absolute favorites. I think a lot of people are gonna enjoy that I put this at number 2 for sure. So third up on this list goes to my favorite character in Star Wars, which is Ahsoka from the Clone Wars, to be more specific. These are her Padawan hilts in the Clone Wars, of course, and I haven't actually showed these off on the channel, I don't think at all. I actually had these custom ordered from the Saber Project shop, and these are really cool because they're installed with CFX and they have magnetic detection. So if I put this ring on right here, kind of like my Anakin Episode 2 saber, if you've seen that before on this channel. But if you haven't seen it before, here's what this ring does. Without even touching it. It's so freaking cool. So you can see the activation button is right here. I'm not touching it. Just like that. It's so freaking cool. These are, without a doubt, one of my favorite hilts of all time, especially because they're Ahsoka's. And I also just love how they go from green with that slight yellow lime green color and then onto the blue. It just looks so cool. Comment down below if you think these look better in green or blue. I think green because I'm a big green saber guy, but I know a lot of people like them in blue more. So they have such a strong resemblance to Anakin saber, especially up here on the regular hilt, the longer one, the sheen hilt. You've got the bunny ears and just that Graflex type body. Looks amazing. And you got the control box right there as well. My number 4 spot goes to Princess Leia, which I think this one might upset some people just because it's Leia and she has a saber, I don't know. But I think this is one of the prettiest, most elegant sabers in all of Star Wars without question. I remember when I saw this in Rise of Skywalker in theaters, but what really stuck out to me was seeing this hilt on screen. I knew after I watched that movie that I had to get it. This was the second NeoPixel saber that I ever bought. It was right after I bought Cal's, and I was like, I don't think I'm really gonna buy any more. But I ended up buying this after I saw it on screen. One thing that I really love about this hilt is the shine through on the emitter up here. It looks freaking beautiful. I think it's so princess fitting. You've got the mother of pearl inlays in between here. It's a thin neck saber, so it's already elegant in that feature. And this specific version from the pack store, the button actually illuminates right here, which is really, really cool. One more time on that ignition. Looks so good, so good. My number 5 spot might surprise some of you, maybe not. I've never really spoken too highly of this character's hilt, but the specific version that I own of it, I absolutely love it. And that is Obi-Wan's from not a movie, but the TV series. This is Kenobi's from the Kenobi series, episode 3.5, because it's between 3 and episode 4. There is a much cleaner version of this in episode 3. And then obviously as he goes through Mustafar and then everything on Tatooine, the saber becomes a little bit weathered up. This is the 89 Sabers version from CC Sabers. I really don't care much for Kenobi's hilt in general, but something about this one just really grabs my attention. I don't know what it is. I don't like the way it looks in episode 4 really, and I never cared for his Padawan hilts. I really like how this one's got the Covertech wheel instead of the belt clip like it does in episode 4. On the number 6 spot, I have something much more unique than the other ones in this list, which is going to be Trillas, the only Inquisitor hilt in this list for very, very good reasons. There's also no Inquisitor sabers that I really care for, especially not like Trillas. This one stands out way more than the rest in my opinion, and it also is just a meaningful saber to me because of Jedi Fallen Order. And I want to power it up and show you guys a few things about this that make this really special. So, as you can see, there's an illumination in the middle and over here on the sides. So as you can see, they activate independently, which is super, super cool. It folds completely open to make the full Inquisitor ring. And as you can see, there's Arabish all around the ring, which doesn't actually translate to anything. I wish it did. It's just a bunch of scrambled up letters, but it's still really cool. It doesn't spin the greatest, but it looks so wickedly cool, I think. I love this hilt. And then, of course, it folds back very, very easily. And you can actually clock the center of this. So I can have it be just how any way I want in the center by doing this, and it will stay. But of course, you're going to want that to be shown on the front. But it's still really cool that you can change it however you like. So coming up on the 7th spot, I have none other than the Chosen One himself, Anakin's from episode 3, not 2. And the reason I specify that is because I've always mentioned how the episode 2 version of Anakin's in Attack of the Clones is my personal favorite out of any hilt he ever uses. But the reason my mind has kind of changed and gone to episode 3 is because, well, it's just more iconic and it's way easier to spin this one than episode 2. This was actually the 3rd NeoPixel I ever bought, Cal's, Leia's, and then this one. And I took this one to Disneyland onto all the rides and beat it up. I did not take care of this one, but it still looks fantastic and has a great build quality. It's super heavy, and of course, you've got the Youngling sounds that come out of it, so it is the true Youngling Slayer 3000. Coming in at the number 8 spot, which is going to be the most surprising for pretty much anyone watching, and that has watched my content in the past, is Mace Windows from episode 3. And what's really cool about this one, right? It's got a magnificent crystal reveal on the front, or the backside, I guess, in this case. But that is just so freaking sweet. Look at the detail up on that. You can see the crystal right there, and the shine through on the emitter up there. It just looks fantastic. The reason I put this in my top 10 sabers when I've previously dissed this so many times is it's grown on me a lot. And this specific model, the 89 Sabers version, not just because of the crystal chamber, of course that's a big part in it, but the rubber on the grips and the way it feels in the hands is spectacular. It's almost one of my very best. There's not a lot of sabers that are this comfortable to hold. I've got the mini version of it too from Corbanth. Just recently did a video over this as well. And this one also has some pretty good weight to it. Almost as heavy as this one. Actually, it might be heavier. Holy crap. At number 9, I have Rey's, and I think this one's gonna upset most people. Her character aside, this hilt is freaking awesome. There's a lot to say about this hilt, but also at the same time, there's really not a lot to say because this hilt was only on screen for like a second and a half, which makes me so freaking upset because I love it. It's one of the most unique ones that we've ever seen with the twist ignition, which this one actually has it. You can see it even changes colors. It's slight flicker like it does in the film. And you can turn it off by holding, and the claws open up here on the top. I got this from KR Sabers, and if you know who they are, they do some of the very, very best top of the line saber work in my opinion. And this hilt just goes to show that. It has a moving top, bro. Come on. And look at the shine through right there. The colors change and everything. The wrap is off, so I know that the wrap needs to be changed, but other than that. So for the last hilt at number 10, it's something a little bit different, and it's not actually seen in Star Wars at all. It's not a character hilt, it's not canon, but it's still one of my absolute favorites for a good amount of reasons. And that is going to be my Saber Trio Reaver. This has been a long running hilt on the channel. It's been with me through probably more than any of my other sabers because it's my main spinning hilt. It looks fantastic too. It's the most comfortable hilt for spinning I've ever held besides the Imperial Workshop Scavenger hilt, which I've talked about a bunch of times. For something that has this much going on, it's extremely comfortable. There's nothing in the way, and these curves right here kind of lock your hand in so they don't slide up. It's a very good choke point. I have dropped this on anything that you can imagine. Grass, sand, a little bit of water, concrete, pavement, the floor, my desk. Like, I'm kid you not, I've dropped it on everything and it still holds up. And it is extremely loud. Besides my Calstus saber that I showed you earlier, this is the loudest hilt in my collection. It's the easiest to spin, it's the most comfortable, it looks fantastic, and it wasn't even the most expensive. Like, out of all the hilts that I've shown you guys today, I think this one might be, yeah, this is the cheapest one. I think I got this for like $640, something like that. It's installed with CFX, and for it to be the cheapest one out of all 10 that I've shown today is pretty freaking wild. I mean, Saber Trios, if you own a Saber Trio, then you know what I'm talking about. Like, if you don't have one, please get one. It's an experience to have. It's the closest thing you'll ever have to holding what feels like a real lightsaber. That about wraps it up for my top 10 sabers, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments which ones were your favorites or which ones you didn't like. I'm so down to hear your top 10 lists in full as well. Drop them down below, your entire top 10. I want to hear them. Yeah, that's about it.